Hi, in this video I'm going to give you a quick whistle-stop tour of the Vanguard investing platform and sort of take you through what is it that Vanguard actually does, what they offer, what kind of costs there are, and the kind of different investments that you can make using the platform. You get to the Vanguard platform by going to vanguardinvestor.co.uk, and that'll take you through to the UK version of this. I use this as my very first stocks and shares ISA. I have moved on from there, but I still use this to invest some money. So basically, as you get dividends coming through, you can reinvest those back into the platform. What is Vanguard? Vanguard in 1975, their founder, Jack Bogle, came up with a revolutionary way of investing. And basically what he wanted was, he basically said, why look for the needle in the haystack, just buy the haystack? And what he meant by this was, instead of investing into individual stocks, basically, why not just invest into a basket of stocks, something that tracks indices across the world. For example, the S&P 500 has its own Vanguard index fund or exchange traded fund, VUSA. You can basically buy a fraction of that whole index through VUSA. What all does Vanguard actually offer? Basically what they offer is a number of different accounts that you can actually invest in. So they will allow you to have personal pensions, so you could have a SIP, you could have a stocks and shares ISA where you can invest up to £20,000 per financial year into this low-cost, tax-efficient way of saving. I'll link down below and also a card on the screen to a video that I've done on ISAs. You could start investing into your kids' future and look at opening up a junior ISA, or you could just have the basic general account, the general investing account. This does not provide you any of those benefits of the £20,000 tax-free, where any capital gains that you would make would be protected, or any dividends that you get paid, you don't have to pay tax on it, so you do not get this cover within the general account. However, if you've already maxed out your 20,000, yeah, why not go and use this? You can actually navigate your way around this website really simply. It is probably the simplest of platforms. What they do not have is an app, so it means that you are not constantly checking, because it's a bit of a faff to go and have a look at your ISA. So I probably only look at my ISA once every couple of months, and that's basically when I'm doing an update and showing you guys how things are progressing, or when I'm sort of investing when the market is taking a bit of a dip. But what you can do is jump onto the website, as I said, on vanguardinvestor.co.uk, and you can go in and have a look at all the different funds that they have. Basically you are looking at, they have 86 different funds in here, and they are split regionally. They can be split by risk level, or they can be split by management type, or how they actually bring money back into the system. So you either have the accumulating, where that goes back straight back into the fund, or you could get an income through that income, or distributing, as they sometimes like to call it. What do we have as different setup? What you could have is the ready-made funds, and basically this splits down into either the life strategy or the target retirement. So on the life strategy, they will have a split between bonds and shares, and that is depending on what the share split within that fund is, depends on what it's called. So Life Strategy 20, as you can see on the screen, has 20% invested in the shares, and that works the whole way through to the 100. You then have your target retirement, where that is looking at the year that you are hoping to retire. So if you were looking at retiring in 23 years time, you could go for that Target Retirement 2045 fund. And basically what this will do is this will change the balance between the equities and the bonds. So the closer you are to retirement age or retirement year, the larger the balance in bonds will be. As you see, as we get closer to the retirement fund date, so if that's 2025, you have 44% in bonds. As you move out to 30, you have 37, 32, 27. So you are basically shifting that risk, because the shares place the additional risk on each of these funds. That is looking at the ready-made portfolios. You can then go and build your own portfolio. So what you have the ability to do is have things like ETFs, mutual funds, or ESG funds in there. So if we wanted to go and have a quick look at ETFs, just click on that and that will pull you up your different ETFs. So I've done a few videos on these and I will link them down below. But for example, let's go and have a quick look at one that I own myself, which is the FTSE 100. As we jump into this, what the platform actually gives you is details on each of the funds. It will pull in a quick overview page which tells you about what is the objective of that fund, a little bit about its benchmark, and then you get a bit on the past performance of that. Some other key fund information that you will get on this overview page are how long it's been around, how much money is actually invested into it, and what I love to see, is it dividend paying or not. Down here you will have some of the key documents that you may want to go and have a look at. I would definitely say go and have a look at the key investor information document, the prospectus, and if you want to go and have a look at the annual report if that exists. You also get a quick breakdown on what is the price of buying one stock, and on the Vanguard platform you must buy a single full stock when you're doing this. On other platforms, so for example Trading 212 or Invest Engine, you can buy part shares. I'll link videos that I've done on those down in the description below. You get to see how many stocks there are within the fund, and then you get to see the ongoing charge. The ongoing charge is very important because you want to keep that as low as humanly possible, because you want more money coming back into your pocket as opposed to going out to Vanguard. And then basically the risk, and this is a residual risk indicator that they have, and it is rating 6 out of 7, which puts it at the riskier end. You then get the price, which will give you some of the historical price analysis and past performance again of the fund. You then go into the portfolio. It will give you some of the characteristics of the fund that you're actually investing into. You will then get a look at what the regional exposure is and market allocation, and then finally you'll get the weighting exposure of the different sectors that you are investing into. And then you tend to get to see the top 10 holdings within the ETF or fund. Distributing basically is talking about whether or not it is going to pay a dividend or not, and it will give you some of the most recent information on payments of dividends. So for example, you've got the most recent one was paid on the 15th of December, and money will be landing in my bank on the 28th. So I'm looking forward to seeing how much that is. And then the key thing that you want to go and have a look at is what is the ongoing charge and what are the minimums and the monthly direct debits that you look at on these funds. So that is just a quick whistle-stop tour through an example there. There are quite a few pros to the use of the Vanguard platform. They are low cost, but they do, however, carry their own 1.5% cost to use their platform. Other platforms do not do that. And also it forces you to have a more long-term focus on sort of buying into exchange traded funds or into the life strategies or your target retirement funds. And with that, they are forcing you to sort of hold for the longer term, because you can't constantly have a look online and see how your portfolio is doing. I do quite like that about the Vanguard platform. It is quite useful. I've done other videos on a number of the Vanguard ETFs that exist. So there are things like VUSA and VUKE where I dive a bit more deeply into them. I'll drop links down below, or you could go and have a look at some of the other videos that I've done on other platforms and sort of give the pros and cons.